that Megan came up with. So we're excited to have these ladies on. They're going to be talking about what's trending right now. What are the best rituals? So we're talking about rituals tonight in the sense of actions that we do over and over that get a result and inspire us. So this is the type of ritual we're going to learn about and things that we should be practicing going into a new season. So without further ado, we're going to have the following ladies join us on the screen. So Megan's going to interview Ashley Peterson, who is the owner of Elizabella Cosmetics, Sarah Boyd, Senior Vice President of Socialyte, Anna Quincoces, CEO and founder of Official Skinny Latina, and she's also a former Real Housewife of Miami. So I'm gonna head out now and welcome these ladies, and Megan's gonna give them a nice interview here. It's gonna be fun.
Okay, we're waiting for two more ladies to come on. So right now it's you and me, Ashley.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you all again for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we are going to be joined. Oh, look, one of our ladies is here. Hi, Anna.
Hi, Megan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Excited to be here with you guys. I've been watching. So much fun. Such great information.
I know. It just gets better, actually. By the end of the events, it's like you can't help but be so excited and so inspired. Like our last event, we actually had, you're going to probably know her name now, but when we originally had her on, you know, she wasn't as well known as she is now. Her name is Bershan Shaw. Yeah. And she just got signed on to be a Real Housewife of New York. But we had her as a speaker at our last event. And she was so on fire. And the person who came on after her was just like so blown away that she came on the screen and she was like, I don't have anything to say.
I have nothing further. No, it sucks to follow somebody that's really like, forget it. I'm going to get my energy up here right now.
All right. Well, I'm going to kick off this panel. I know we're waiting for Sarah Boyd. She must be having some technical difficulties. So I'm just going to start the panel with you guys, and then I'm sure she'll join us as she's gotten her camera fixed. These are the things that happen with a digital event. But, you know, the one thing that we've noticed about this year is how busy everyone has been. You know, we had last year, people were kind of sleeping in a way. People were at home, taking a break and so on. And kind of some people were utilizing COVID maybe to have some rest time. And I think that now that we've launched this new year, everyone's just gone into full action and really we haven't stopped since then. So I just wanted to find out for both of you, you both are owners of companies. Anna owns Official Skinny Latina, which we saw on her Instagram just launched into Walmart, which is, I can't even imagine how huge that is. And Ashley is the owner of Elizabella Cosmetics. And I want to give them both a chance to talk about what they do and where their companies have gone in 2021. So we'll start with Anna.
Well, you know, I have to say that I kind of wish that I had known that 2020 or, you know, just the events of 2020 would kind of take us a full year. Had I known that, I think I would have done things differently. But in retrospect, it was much needed for me. It kind of gave me an opportunity to kind of focus on quality living, and everybody defines that differently. But I was heading down a rabbit hole that was not good in the kind of the expectations I had on myself and just not wanting to stop. And so I think that like stopping to take a break and to really kind of, you know, just put in order. I love my lists, you know, what's the most important thing. When 2021 came, I was kind of ready to go all in with, you know, Skinny Latina. I've had it for a really long time. It was a side hustle. It was something that I thought, oh, this is cute. You know, I made this when I was a young lawyer and I had young kids, and it was, you know, such a solution for me. And it was one of those things that I made for people in mason jars. And, oh, my new mother-in-law's coming over. Give me that stuff. That shit is crack. You know, you put it on anything and it tastes great. And, you know, I was like, that's nice. But, you know, once you see it at Whole Foods and at different places, you start to feel like, wow, you know, feel like Sally Fields, like they like me. They really, really like me, you know? And I decided to kind of just go all in. just really, really just go all in and just, you know, not only, you know, with Skinny Latina, but to do everything that I needed to do in earnest, not have I wore so many hats. So I think what I did was I threw away some hats and focused on the most important hats. And I think that has not only improved my quality of life, but improved my business, because I'm focusing more on the things that really, really matter and growing that one thing. And like you said, I have already seen the fruits of that shift, you know, with Walmart and with, you know, other retailers that I'm talking to that have shown an interest in the product. And it has a lot to do with the fact that I'm more present. And
yeah.
I credit, you know, the pandemic for that. It had some terrible things, but I think, and I don't know if the other ladies feel the same way, but it really gave me the time to stop and think and what's really important to you.
Absolutely. You know, it's interesting because one of the things that my partner, Megan Ayers, I don't even know what my name says right now because we're all using the same account. I'm Megan Fialkoff in case it doesn't.
There's two Megans, that's right.
Yeah, so Megan Ayers is my business partner and co-founder of Modern Day Wife. And she always says how she, you know, will only check the emails that are really important and then that must be done right now. Whereas I tend to be like, I have to always get my inbox down to 0 every day or down to like 15 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it is like prioritizing what you need to do. And Ashley, tell us a little bit about the direction Elizabella Cosmetics has gone in this year and, you know, how you've been able to differentiate yourself from other cosmetic lines. Oh, we have to unmute you. There you go. We can hear you. We can hear you now.
Got me? Okay. I feel like, as Anna was saying, I feel like 2020 was a little bit of a blessing in disguise, a blessing that I didn't even realize I needed. Going into 2020, I actually had like the busiest year planned. I was traveling every single month. It was like so much going on that year. And then all of a sudden, everything stopped, you know? And so it really gave me so much time to focus on myself again, my health, my wellness, you know, my mental wellness, because I think had I kept going in the way that I was going, I would have been burnt out, you know? And being able to take that time to like reconnect with my family was so amazing, you know? And it really helped to like put things in perspective, let me really hone in on what exactly I wanted and what I really didn't want, what I thought I wanted, but I didn't. You know, I was able to really take time to think about that and prioritize and say, okay, you know, we're gonna shift some things around here, because I found that simplicity in those moments gave me a lot more happiness than I expected. And so it allowed me to really focus on the direction that I wanted my business to go in, to come up with ideas and things that I wanted to implement this year that I'm now, you know, working on and working towards, trying to get, you know, on Anna's level in retail. And so, girl, if you have any tips, send them my way. But
knock on those doors until they're tired of seeing your face. It's like, I'm here again. I'm here again.
Thank you. I appreciate all of the input, all of the advice, but that honestly really helped me so much, even, you know, just from a personal standpoint, to get myself together, because it allowed me to really find myself again and, you know, focus in on myself, my family, getting that core back together, and now feeling like I can move forward with my business and things aren't lacking. You know, whereas before, I feel like I had so many balls in the air, so many things going on that things were lacking, you know. And I feel like especially my family, because I'd gotten so busy and I had so much planned and so much lined up. And it allowed me to just really come back to that center, which, you know, of course, helps my business as well, because now I have a much more pinpointed objective and I know where I want to go versus where I don't even want to waste my time in.
Yeah.
You know, we really learned that time is very valuable, because just like that, everything can change, you know? And
exactly.
So, exactly.
It's so true, because I had a 6-month-old baby in I don't even know, August.
What was that, baby born? No.
Yeah, like when, who, what, when? So I understand that, and same thing for me. It was kind of a great. COVID happened at a good time for me because I could have basically my entire pregnancy at home, and the last 6 months raising him, working from home. So yeah, and it's interesting also, and I'm so glad, Sarah, that you got on here, because Sarah has such a wealth of experience. She had a company named Simply, where she had huge events for women in Dubai, Chicago, Miami, and Manhattan, and maybe Los Angeles. You can correct me if I'm wrong. And then she recently now is an executive at Socialyte, which represents celebrities, influencers, and so on. So I'm really interested to hear, what are you doing with your clients to differentiate them between or among all these other people on social media that are all trying to kind of do the same thing? Like, what advice do you have on differentiating yourself?
Yeah, and I just want to say too, I'm just sitting here nodding because everything Ashley and Anna said, I'm like 1,000% in agreement, because it's same. It just brings me back to center. We made a move across the country, all these things that we would have never done if COVID did not happen. So yes, I think we're all on the same page in that sense. In the last year, as you mentioned, I'm now, my business was acquired by Socialyte. So we not only manage celebrity and influencer talent, we also do casting, and we're a marketing agency for all things influencer. So, when COVID hit, everything just went to a screeching halt because every brand was scared. They couldn't spend money. They were just trying to figure out what is going on in the world. So for 2-3 months, it was scary. We had to really differentiate, how are we different? How are our talent different? We had to drop a lot of talent. We had to add new talent because, what we came to realize was, after going through a deep dive of our entire roster, is we had an interesting finding that really the talent that stood out, was continuing to book campaigns, brands wanted to work with, were people with personality, authenticity, and had that real connection with their fans. The people that were like the true beautiful content creators, they weren't booking any campaigns, which is horrible, but they lost all of their business because there was none of the relatability there with the brands and the actual talent. So I think that's a really good takeaway for anyone watching. If you are an influencer or your brand looking to work with an influencer, is really not look at the followers, look at the engagement, and look at how the fans are interacting and, swiping up and commenting, and see what that engagement is, because that's really what the value is, as we've seen it over the last year.
Yeah. It's one of the things that's really refreshing, and it's not exactly what you're saying, but it's similar, is that also a lot of brands are starting to use women of all shapes and sizes, and of different forms of expression and different concerns in the world. And I think that's really refreshing, especially since I have not been able to lose any really of my, actually I lost kind of all my baby weight, but then I just gained weight after. So I'm like, bring on the real life models here. So it is nice to hear that it is personality that's kind of winning the day. And that kind of brings me back to Anna. This is so much fun, by the way. I get to see all these amazingly talented women in one screen. I know you've been obviously in the entertainment business for quite some time, and that has probably helped you a bit, but do you have any tips on how to get your product known? Like I know you mentioned like knocking on the door until they sell it. Anything else like in regards to getting your product known?
Look, I had a platform. I sought the platform for that reason. So, I had that. Like when they called me to do Real Housewives, it's probably the last thing I wanted to do. But I thought, I already had 3 cookbooks out, or 2 of the cookbooks out, and I really wanted to launch this brand. And I thought, this is the perfect way to do it. But I think that social media is such an amazing avenue, and if you can stand out in social media, and I'm so glad to hear Sarah say what she said, because I do a lot of work as an influencer, lifestyle, food, that kind of thing. I've done that really to support myself while growing the brand, and I still do stuff, with certain you know, the watermelon board, the pork board, and I've done it with the Estee Lauder. I mean, I've done it with completely different brands, and my content has never been, you know, when you go through somebody's Instagram account and everything is the same color and it's so beautiful and it looks like a magazine. I hate that because it seems very contrived. And for me, I always wondered, don't people that are, you know, want, I don't know, the clients, right? The brands, don't they want authenticity? I mean, what makes a great anything, whether it's a talk show host, a housewife, anybody, it is the rare combination of being relatable and being aspirational. That is the magic. It's magic, and it's very hard to attain. And so social media is free. You know what I mean? And if there are so many people that have become social media famous, right? I mean, look at Justin Bieber. I mean, I'm old, so I remember Justin Bieber, but I'm sure there's many others. Vine famous, all these things. Put content out there, you know, continuously. I mean, everybody's heard of Gary Vee. He's like 150 pieces of content a day. Okay, he's crazy, but a lot of content. And find your groove, you know, because you know when you're full of shit. You know when you're like, oh, whatever, TikTok, you know what? I can't do that. You know what I mean? I can't even pretend to do that. I can do what I do, and then somebody else, you guys can do what you do. And I think finding who you are and then putting that out there to the millions of people. I mean, social media now, spending on social media has gone up 15%. They expect in 2021. We're talking 105 billion with a B dollars being spent on social media. You know this, Sarah, because that's your job. So if somebody's buying and people are consuming, put yourself out there and give them, you know, and show them how you're different. You know, for me with Skinny Latina, it's like, oh, another sauce. No, it's not just another sauce. It's not just a condiment. It's a solution. It's a one-step, a one-step solution to getting home. And if you're busy and making something that you can predict, that every single time you put in you go to the store and buy 4 organic chicken breasts and you spent $20, you're not going to mess it up. You can't fail with this. I call it cooking courage in a bottle. And then I give them tons and tons of content to keep them engaged and to keep them, you know, cooking. Because I always said I'm the Pied Piper of cooking. I grew up at a time, you know, when cooking was considered slave labor. I went to law school and it's like, oh, the only thing I know how to make for dinner are reservations. You know, it's like, no, it's something else you know how to do. I have 2 grown daughters, probably older than you guys. And one of them's a lawyer. The other one produces for Netflix. They both cook and they think it's the greatest thing. You know, it's like none of my friends know how to cook. I just felt that I was teaching people something that would give them, I'm giving you, here's a gift, and you don't have to be on the Food Network and you don't have to do a Madeira reduction. You just put this sauce on this and you're going to get rave reviews, and you're going to nurture people and give them something they're going to put in their body, which is the greatest expression of love. And so I just think social media is the way to go. And every day there's a new outlet. And by the way, whenever there's something new, do it. You know what I mean? Because like TikTok, or now there's Clubhouse. I don't even know them all, but the first person in, it really helps a lot to kind of create, you know, that you become a persona on that. So I wish I had done more of that, but I wasn't born with a laptop in my hand, or like a smartphone in my hand, like my kids did. I mean, right. Sometimes I'm putting something on Instagram and my daughter's watching and says, give me that, because it takes me 45 minutes to post something. So, you know, there's an advantage to being younger and, you know, having grown up with this.
Absolutely. Well, it's refreshing to hear you say about still using Instagram and putting out lots of content, because, you know, you hear lots of different opinions all the time. And, you know, it brings me actually to Ashley, some of the things that I was reading about you. Oh no.
I know. I'm the like Oscar, the little timer. The time is up. I'm the cue.
Oh, you're the sick man from Julia Roberts. Oscar. I mean, we didn't even get to talk really. Oh my God.
I know. I was listening to all of you ladies taking so many notes. I was like, so many good golden nuggets. I know we need more time, but unfortunately we want to stay on time. We're never on time for our events, ladies. We go over all the time. It's sometimes a disaster. We're like an hour behind schedule, but Megan, I'll let you finish what you were saying and then we can wrap up sadly, but yeah.
Okay, well, this is what I'll say since I had lots of other questions for Ashley and Sarah. You should definitely check out. So Ashley runs Elizabella Cosmetics, and what I was going to speak to her more about is her journey of starting her business, and things didn't necessarily just blow up as soon as she launched it, right? And she worked her way to differentiating herself. So definitely check that out. There's articles about her online that I read. And Sarah's just an ultimate powerhouse. Like
yes.
we want to do a whole event just with Sarah talking.
I'm like, I think we need a separate event for every single
thing. I know, we need more time, that's for sure.
I was like, we want to make a product with Ashley. I'm like, Anna, you can tell us everything we need for
my God, I didn't shut up. I'm sorry. I really wanted to hear a lot more of what Sarah had to say. And Ashley, just one advice that I wanted to tell you is apply to get your business minority certification.
Okay.
That is something that retailers are looking for. So that's my one piece of advice, and I'm going to shut up now.
Thank you so much. I got so many
Megan,
jewels
before we. Oh, sorry. Ashley,
I got so many jewels from you, Anna, just in that short time period.
Well, you can reach out to me, and I'm happy to, on social media at Anna Cooks or whatever, or Anna@annaq.com is my email. One N.
Thank you.
Okay. Before we end up, I do want to do one question for Sarah because I really wanted to hear her pick her brain on this, and it's a treat that we get to have her. So, since you've been able to start so many businesses and sell them and be able to really lead in that way, do you have any advice for the listeners on how to reach that tipping point from obscurity to success? And we'll leave off with your answer here.
Well, yeah, I actually created a whole online course about it. If anyone wants it, if you go to simply-inc.com/course, you can get it there. And I have so many amazing entrepreneurs that are also featured on that course. But honestly, it comes down to hard work and hustle. I did not go to business school. I grew up in small town Pennsylvania, and it is hard work. Like Anna said, you knock on every door and you don't take no for an answer. And maybe it's the PR girl in me, but that's how you do it. I mean, there's no shortcut, and it's obviously connections you meet along the way and building a great business, but it's as simple as that.
Exactly. Well, we can definitely, Megan and I can attest to following that rule. Hustle. We're both apart.
Yes. I was like, you know how many no's we get? I was like, you have to just keep going when you get a no, right? Like we've taught our whole team that. I was basically saying we would all be rich probably for all the no's we've ever gotten in our whole life, right?
Yes. And what you guys also do, like I built my whole business based on kindness, There's so many mean people in this industry, and it's just why? Life is too short. So you guys are the same, kindness will get you so much further in this industry or in any industry. So that is really how I've, grown my businesses.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I'm actually planning a webinar on that one point. And one last thing I'll say, Megan's going to kill me, but one last thing I'm going to say is also this is totally not related, but when you send text messages to someone and you send a few messages and then they only respond to one, and then I will keep sending, did you see this one? Did you see this one? Until I get all of the things answered.
This is Megan's biggest pet peeve. Like this will be anything you ever need to know about her. It's like answer everything in the message.
Yeah, because then it gets lost. So anyways, I'm so sorry we didn't get to hear from all of you, but definitely everyone check them out on social media. Sarah does have a booth in the expo on that course, so you can check it out. It's basically a master course, I guess you can call it.
What's the course again? Just the course. I tried to write it down, but I didn't get it.
Oh, you just go to simply-inc.com and then /course. And it's on how to build and sell a business in 5 years.
Exactly. And it's also in the expo right there. So if you want to check out her booth, it's in the expo, which is on your left.
With a discount code, right?
Yes. Exactly. That's why I'm referring to the expo.
Kindness and confidence. That's another magic combination.
Yes, exactly. Okay, ladies. Well, thank you all so much. We really appreciate your time. Lots of
Thank you.